Welcome to PulpMX Classic Commentary Volume 10. I'm your host, Steve Mathis, and I'm here with
Jimmy Button.
Jimmy Button. Thanks for doing this. The race we've selected is 99 Pontiac.
Awesome.
And there's MC, right in a heyday, right?
Yep, blonde hair and blue no fear gear.
Hey, turn the volume down a little bit on that
Pretty
thing.
solid. I like it loud.
This is Pontiac 99. You are racing in this race. You're Factory Yamaha rider.
I am.
On a 4-stroke. You started really coming into your own here.
Yeah, this was interesting. This is my first race back. I had a big crash in practice at Dallas on Friday actually, and so I missed. I didn't race Dallas. I didn't race Daytona. I forget the race or two after that, and then this was my first race back. So it was.
It's crazy you remember that to me though.
It's motocross. You know,
right.
You kind of like as a rider, you kind of relate everything to particular races and whatnot. Mm-hmm. Look at that, The Rock.
There's The Rock and Paul Delorier, Berluti there. Larocco, this was second year Factory Connection, or third year. Yeah, because '96 he rode Suzuki.
Yeah.
So,
this was this like the Jack in the Box era? I think so. I think I see a Jack in the Box sticker. Yep.
Yeah, Larocco was the guy, second place in the points behind MC. I mean, not a hope in hell of straight up beating MC though, but still giving it 100%.
You know the thing with Mike is if he actually would have gotten better starts, he probably would have won a hell of a lot more races and probably a lot more championships. But he always got such bad starts, and I think I could be wrong, but I think every time he got a good start, he won.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I've done a few of these already. There's Larry Ward, Greg Albee. I've done a few of these, and the guys I do them with talk about how Jeremy just blitzed for 10 laps, and then it was cruise. You know, he wasn't necessarily in the most killer shape, but he technical-wise.
But the thing is Jeremy would always get a good start, and the thing is he would be so far out in front. I mean, he would put it on cruise, and he was so technically sound. He never made any mistakes in the first 5 or 6 laps.
Yep.
And then you control the gap, right?
All right, here we go. Gate drops. Pontiac 99. Look at Huff Daddy.
Huff
coming
Daddy,
off a broken leg.
Look at, and there's me on the outside.
Who's that number 10 guy?
That's me.
Yeah.
On the outside. Look at that. First start in a while. Not too shabby.
No.
And then here comes, so that's Renard, Big Bird, Huffy. I'm going to say Lammy, and then me,
24.
something like that.
Remember going into the stands?
Yeah.
That was cool.
Dude,
huh?
Renard was so good. He actually was so good on the bike.
Yeah.
Super stylish, very smooth, but a lot of injuries with that guy.
We dirt at Pontiac always rutted up too, right?
Yeah.
Always it was wet that time of year.
You know, and the thing for us, like on the 4-stroke, so this is like the earliest of 4-stroke days, right? And so when the track would get rutted, it was so weird riding the bike because it had so much power, and it was just all light switch power back then. And tracks like this were pretty hard to compete the 4-stroke to the 2-stroke for sure.
Yeah, people don't realize the 4-stroke wasn't, as much as it helped you in certain situations, starts, dry, slick tracks, it wasn't the easiest to ride. On-offs, you know what I mean? Like, they were scary.
On-offs were like, anytime I went to the race and I saw on-offs, I would just cringe because I'm like...
rolling the dice? Were you just rolling the dice that night?
Like, oh my God. It was like literally like playing Russian roulette. Because, they didn't have, a really good... the throttle was terrible.
Throttle response.
It was terrible. But, some tracks it worked great. On the tracks that it did work really, really good, the bike was amazing. But it took a while for that thing to get, really worked on well by all the teams and mechanics and whatnot. But
yeah, they figured it out now.
They did. They figured it out for sure.
Funny, right now Robbie Renard is laying the wood to everybody.
He is.
He won. Yeah.
And I gotta say he's doing it on not really the best bike in the world because that Suzuki that year wasn't. This is 99. Yeah, that Suzuki wasn't all that great. It was a good outdoor bike, but it wasn't the best in Supercross for whatever reason. I'm not quite sure.
Oh, and that they were going out over the first turn, over the berm, landing and going off. I think that's the hot line here.
Yeah,
at Pontiac.
it was pretty sketchy. They changed that thing after practice. There was a deal you could kind of jump it and land on the flat. I think maybe MC probably did it all night long and won another race or something. But
right.
Pontiac was always rutted out.
Yeah, and it was cold. When we got there.
They had that. I mean, you can see there the ruts. They didn't fix the track. Dirtworks guys do a great job on the tracks these days, and ride red.
One thing about Renard, I did a podcast with him, talk about this year specifically, and he just said he had terrible arm pump, and he traced it to some supplement. That was what he said. He just got terrible arm pump. And,
perfect.
But here's Lammy, first year on Chaparral, off of the Hondas, first year on a Yamaha, and I was on this team later on this summer with Tim Ferry. He was not a happy camper this year. I think he's going through some things in his life.
The funny thing is, so Lammy actually, okay, so this is 99, 98. I rode for Chaparral as me and MC, and I actually had a really good season in 98 and lost my ride at Chaparral. Lammy took my ride, and then I ended up pulling up with the factory ride.
Weren't you playing the game of chicken with Damron over salary, and that's why you lost your ride? Like you could have gone back.
No.
No?
No, I was specifically told that you're not on this team.
Okay, because I remember you killing it in 98.
Yeah. I had a lot of I had a lot of podiums in Supercross. I was on the podium. I think I ended up maybe 4th or 5th overall outdoors on a 125.
Yeah.
Don't ask me why I rode a 125 when I weighed 170 pounds, but it was fun.
So Lammy struggled though at Chaparral this year.
For sure.
Not good for him. On the Yamaha 250, and then even outdoors, he went to the 250 class outdoors and struggled again.
He's pulling away from me right now.
Yeah, he is, and LaRocco too.
Yeah, he's pulling away from the Rock.
Funny story this year, only 2 of the top guys used Pirelli tires, LaRocco and Tim Ferry. We used Tim Ferry's or Pirellis, and they were really bad.
Didn't Tim Ferry ride for like RRP this year? Or something
no
like
lean.
That?
May as well be no lean, but
look at that, Berlut.
Berlut, yeah, now working for Hart and Huntington. Hey, Tony, in 10 years' time, you're going to be working in Vegas with a team owned by Kerry Hart Freestyle Guy. What do you think?
Amazing. And this is actually when it was Pace Supercross.
Yeah, exactly.
So this is Heat 1. So Robbie Renard, Larry Ward, Michael Rocco, and Steve Lamson right now are in qualifying position because back then they took 4 out of the Heat, 5 out of the semi, and then they took 2 out of the LCQ.
When you qualified out of your Heat, you had a lot of downtime.
You had a couple of hours of downtime. Not like that anymore.
No.
Renard's riding good here.
He is.
Looking pretty stylish in the Fox gear.
Elbows up, too. Always elbows
Fox
up, too.
gear, looking good.
Right.
Rocking the Bell helmet back in the day when you could actually wear gear and helmet different.
Yeah.
Not so anymore.
Days have changed now, huh?
Days have changed.
What do you remember about Pontiac as far as like your best result there? Like, how'd you do? You remember?
You know what? I actually never won. I never won there. I got like a crap load of seconds on a 125.
Yep.
I had a pretty sweet crash there one time. When was that? That was in 94 actually in press day. It was super rutted up, and I caught the foot pegs on a 125, and you know how that goes.
Yeah.
And that kind of sucked. But
right.
You know what? That was 94. That was the year me and Ezra were battling for a championship, and Mike Brown actually won the race. Me and Ezra couldn't get around him. He rode great that night.
483 on a Honda.
Dude, it was
right?
That was the one.
I think he was.
Yeah.
You know what's funny watching these old races, and I've done these a bunch, is you guys made a lot of mistakes just because of the bikes, the track. Like it's just the racing is flawless now, I think, because of the 4-strokes. And you guys were more.
I think, too, the tracks then, I mean, I take that back. The tracks now are like really flowy.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And when they made them then, I mean, think about it. I mean, in 10 years, they've come so far with, grooming the track and the technology, doing all that. I mean, the ruts are really, really bad here. I mean, you generally don't see tracks like this. And when you do see it,
right.
Let's go to, say, a place like Salt Lake this past year. Everyone looked like this. Everyone kind of looked like crap.
Right.
Because, we don't look all that great around these tracks. Not as smooth, not as flowy.
Mm-hmm. Well, and then the bikes, too. You could stop at the face of a triple on a 4-stroke.
Yeah.
Go out and clear it.
Yeah.
You guys had to get momentum and make sure you didn't make any mistakes, no misshifts to clear.
100%. And also, like, with the whoops, back then, there was never, like, a pre-whoop like there is now.
Right.
Now there's, like, the whole pre-whoop thing that you can really, you can really get up on top of it and go.
Right. What about Big Bird? What's your thoughts on Big Bird?
I hated getting beat by him. I really did.
Why?
I think because we were friends and I knew him so well.
Yeah.
But he was always good. He was always a super tough competitor.
Right.
He was a threat of a guy that could go out and put a win in.
Right.
You know, he was always quick.
All right, here we go. Second heat.
Second heat.
Bernard.
I have no idea what happens here. My guess is that probably MC is going to hole shot, ride fairly consistently, and win fairly easily.
One thing too.
There's RL.
Yeah, one thing about Pontiac, Indy, St. Louis. Oh, the fans loved some MC. Like they love some MC.
They loved MC everywhere.
I know, but more so I think in these cities.
Yeah, well, you know, he was the first guy to ever go into LCQ and then win a main event. He did it in Pontiac.
There's Heath Voss, 28. Tortelli, 44.
RC, number 9.
Yeah. There's Tim Ferry. There's young Steve Mathis behind him there.
Yeah, and right next to him is Yogi on the number 4 bike.
Yeah.
Yogi was always good here. He was always good at Pontiac.
He was, wasn't he? Yeah. Good.
There you go. Tortelli, 44.
Yeah. Fans just waiting on the edge of their seats.
Guy's got his Nike hat on.
Yeah.
He's a little early for the Dungy 6.0 deal.
And gate drops. And here we go. Short start straight, the width of the stadium instead of the length. And it's Yog.
It is Yog.
It's Ricky. Oh, Ricky ate dirt a lot. He ate dirt.
You know, in 99 he was really fast, but he made a lot of mistakes. But he was quick.
Yeah.
He was really, really quick.
He had something you couldn't teach, which was speed, but you could teach the fitness.
Yeah. Hey, there's your guy. There's your guy, Red.
Yeah.
Just brake check somebody on a.
Yeah, you know, we're on a privateer bike. My brakes probably failed. Actually, is what happened.
Definitely, if you were working on it.
Yeah, but yeah, here's RC doubling in, and then look at the whoops. Like, they're sketchy. You can tell.
They are, and he won 5 Supercross titles.
Yeah. MC just biding his time right now, probably realizing, probably not that worried right now.
Generally, no.
No. Pull tear off there.
He was never really worried. Like, he always knew what he was going to do in Supercross. Nothing ever tripped him out, sketched him out, or anything. He always. That's the thing. That's why he was so good. He always thought that he had everybody covered, which he generally did.
And also, too, he's got Tortelli in front of him to mow down the peaks of all the jumps as Tortelli cases things.
The funny, you know, with this track, I remember walking. I remember walking the track.
Oh, come on! You remember walking?
I remember walking the track in practice, going, "Are you serious? They actually put a triple for a finish line?" And it was like, it was like 20 feet longer than a normal triple. It was like nearly 90 feet. We're like, really? Okay, finish line, a triple.
This is what you're gonna do
with this dirt.
What about going to the stands? You like that?
Yeah, it was fun. Cool? I remember as a kid always thinking, man, I can't wait to go to Pontiac and go up in the stands.
Right.
You know, and race 2 nights, which I only ever did on a 125. There goes MC.
Yeah. That didn't take long.
There we go. Hey, watch. I'll just kind of cruise by you.
I'll stay lower than you.
Yeah. Yogi's down. Restarting.
Shocker.
That bike wasn't very good.
No.
That Honda.
No.
That was probably second or third year?
Third year.
Yeah, so that thing wasn't exactly outstanding. And look at MC half a lap later, he's already right on the back of RC.
Now, you were bros with MC, practiced with them all the time.
Yeah.
You know, can't even tell how tight you guys are at this point.
Look at this move. Just never a mistake. Look at that. Okay. Burp, 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 burp.
How mad is Ricky right now? So mad.
Furious.
Furious. And then right now he's going to pull away from him. But
look at MC. He was so good with timing. His whole BMX background is what I'll just put my foot on the hay bale.
Was that really it, though? I know magazines wrote it, but you really believe that? I mean, you were around.
Trust me. You know, when I moved in with him and we started living together, I started riding BMX all the time, and I hadn't ridden BMX since I was a kid.
Right.
You know, and as soon as I did that, I started getting on the podium every single weekend. So
really? Yeah.
I mean, kind of go figure.
It
made you just kind of ride a little bit differently, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this style and the speed that we were going.
That was a good corner.
It wouldn't even work these days, right?
Right.
The tracks are different. The way these kids ride today, they all use so much energy. It's unbelievable.
Right.
But look at Pichon, the two
Battle
Frenchies.
of the French, and there's Tim Ferry.
Where you at, Mathis?
Probably.
See, look at that triple for a finish line. Yeah, crazy.
This year, Ferry did pretty good on a bike and a budget that would shock a lot of people. We were paying for things out of our pocket. We were trying to make a go of it, and very frustrating year for us off the track. But on the track, he rode really good. Red killed it this year on a bike that, you know.
I know all about that. That was my '96 season coming back
Yeah.
from Europe. You know,
Right.
doing it on our own, and you know, you were a part of that team towards the latter part
Yeah.
of the year.
Um,
But the track's gnarly. You gotta
Yeah.
admit, the track's pretty gnarly.
oh, and it's getting more and more beat up, too.
Yeah,
What do you...
it's great dirt, as you can tell.
Like, did you have days at the test track where you would hang with MC? Or, like, was he just always better than you?
I had days at the test track that I was actually better than him.
Here's a flashback that we talked about. Pontiac,
Yeah.
94?
I
Oh,
yeah, 94. See, I told
Yeah.
you. I'm on point.
Oh, Stanton lays on him.
Yeah, Jeremy's like, dude, what are you doing? Come on, Jeff. Then the semi, he
What
crashes
happens?
again.
Oh, he's just crashed.
This is it. This is the race I'm talking about.
Good
So
call, Jimmy.
He rides the LCQ,
Right.
wins it, and I'm sitting on the line with my mechanic going, yeah. Yep,
Right.
there he goes. Whole shot main
Yeah.
event.
Jeez, there's Kehoe. There's
Pro.
Fro. Fro's all
Bro's like,
mad.
dude, like, what?
Meanwhile, he's done that 800 times to dudes.
And there's Larocco and Henry.
Yeah. Look how beat up that track was,
Yeah.
too. Wow. So we got Larocco and Larry. Yeah,
Yep.
Big Bird, third place, or second place.
So,
That
yeah.
was quite a day. Also, MC.
So this is 5 years later. Not a whole lot has changed.
No, correct me if I'm wrong. Is this not MC's first year in No Fear gear?
This is because in
Big Fox problem.
yeah, in
you know?
'98 is when he left Fox.
Right.
At the end of '98.
And I
Yeah.
remember No Fear came out swinging with Tortelli, Wyndham, and MC.
You gotta like that. Carmichael just did the big triple,
did.
which was a big jump. It was hard to do. Wasn't comfortable doing it that night. I'll admit right now. Didn't admit that at the time.
You know what's funny? And I know this from personal experience. Chad Reed's YZ250 two-stroke,
Yeah,
not much different from this bike right here.
for sure.
Not much different.
That
Motor.
bike that MC had was pretty good. It was pretty
Yeah.
much the same as the '98 bike though.
Yeah. No, not a lot of different changes. There's Tim Ferry on a Mathis Tune machine, hunting down Pichon.
Is he in a qualifying position
Yeah,
right
he
now?
is. He's in fourth.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
Yeah, we made it out of the heat a few times. Later on this season, Pichon would completely throw in the towel at the last few Supercross races, and then of course the outdoor nationals came. His dad punched out somebody. and they went home.
At Mount Morris.
Yes, and they went home.
Yes, they went
Miserable
home.
year for.
And then he ended up winning 2 world championships.
Right. Yeah, not happy.
No, he was a great rider. Mikkel was for sure.
Was he a good dude? Did
I
you
liked
hang
him.
out with him?
I liked him.
Yep. Yeah, you know who really stands
Look
up?
at there you go, Chatty Daddy.
Yeah, there's me and Watson in the background. Look see my hand?
Yep.
And I'm talking to Watson, who was working for Phil Lawrence.
Look how kind of jacked up it is in the background. People just
a
hanging out.
lumberjacker. The guy with the lumberjacket on. Yeah. Now, obviously, there's been a ton of 125 guys that have dominated the 125 class and then moved up. When you were watching Ricky, I mean, did you have an idea of the greatness that would follow? I mean,
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, Ricky was gnarly. I remember even going back a few years. I want to say probably around '93, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Me and MC actually at the Gatorback National at Gainesville.
Mm-hmm.
We actually drove to the track on Saturday to watch him ride his 80.
really, huh?
So,
Wow.
you know, I mean, we didn't have to be out there on Saturdays back then,
Right.
but we were going out there to watch him ride because he was gnarly. He was doing the elevator on his mini bike. We all had to see it.
Look at my bike. These are the days where I actually had to stick the numbers onto a white background.
Well,
And
yeah, for
I had
sure.
to line up all the stickers on the fender individually.
Yep.
You know?
There were no pre-prints back then.
No. And also, we had a cone pipe. We only had one, and I loved the way it looked, and I cleaned it every week with like acetone, you know. And I had a vented number plate too for some reason. I guess I thought venting in Supercross was very important.
Well, yeah, you know, it gets hot and stuffy in these
Yeah.
stadiums.
Yeah, but Red Dog rode good this year. It was the start of his sort of his second comeback. He would have another third comeback later on.
He would. He actually would.
And he's finally done. Like Jason and Friday the 13th, he's finally done. But anyways, back to MC. Funny that we were talking, me and some media guys the other day, about MC's legacy. And one of the things we talked about, because media guys sit around and talk about this shit, Jimmy. You
Okay.
know, but one of the things we were talking about was how normal he was even back then.
Oh, for sure.
Like, you know what I mean? Like the nicest dude. He could have been a dick. He could have been, he was the king.
Here's the deal. We didn't have motorhomes.
Right.
And he was the gnarliest dude in the world, and he wasn't making $5 million a year.
Mm-hmm. Is that what it is now? Is it the money? I mean, is that?
Well, no. I mean, it's just
not saying our guys are dicks.
No, because now, now you have the money to buy a $1 million coach.
Right.
You know what I mean? You have the money to go fly private. You have the money to do all these things because he would have if he would have reigned supreme. Now, I mean, my gosh, I can't even imagine what because he was the man, right?
Yeah.
He was the man.
How much money would he make?
Everyone there wasn't but maybe 5 people in the stands that didn't like him, and they were just like the parents of some other riders. So I mean, he was at a level that I don't think anyone ever was accepted as him.
Right. Well, I was just made a point in one of my columns that I haven't seen the love that we have right now for Kevin Windham. That I hadn't seen that since MC days. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because when Wyndham's in 7th and he passes for 6th, there's a cheer. And you look around and you realize, oh, it's just Windham moving one more spot.
Yeah.
And that was what this guy did for
sure.
For everybody.
Look at this chick's hair. This is amazing. That is awesome.
That is awesome. Is that like a beaver? A live
I don't know.
animal?
That is killer.
Look, her pants are tight, dude.
So anyways.
That's a mechanic. Here's the 125 main, by the way, folks.
So,
99 125
so
main.
Keith calls me, tells me I got the ride, tells me to drive down to Yamaha and sign a contract, which I happily did. I didn't even care what was in it.
Right.
I was signing the contract.
And so was it a 1-year deal? So you re-signed for this year in 99?
It was it was $4.99.
It was in 98. That's right. I'm sorry.
So this is the first year.
So
and
you weren't making much money.
No, I'm going to ruin this race because Ernesto was perfect up until now.
Yeah.
He loses this race.
Yeah.
To Nick Way.
And
Nick Way ruins his perfect season.
Gate drops.
Yes.
I think you're wrong. I don't think Nick Way wins this.
I think I'm right.
But Ernie came out of nowhere, man. Number 100.
It was pretty cool.
Out of nowhere.
It was pretty cool. Like, Ernie's first day at the Yamaha track, I remember being there riding and going, I can't believe they signed this kid.
Really?
He
was terrible?
Well, he couldn't get around the track.
Yeah.
He absolutely couldn't get around the track, and he didn't go through the whoops for like a month. But the thing is, you want to know what the thing is, though? Ernie was at the track every day. Mm-hmm. Every single day. And every day he got around the track a little bit better, a little bit better. And then he started going through the whoops very slowly. And he started going through the whoops pretty good. And he started going through the whoops really good. And he was there every single day riding.
Oh, Nick. Puts it in there.
And he just stuffed Ernie.
But I think Sellards wins.
I want to say Nick Way.
What'd you make this year from Yamaha? Salary? Mind telling us? Or?
Yeah, I made $150,000.
150.
And it was it was amazing from going from making zero.
Mm-hmm. What, Chaparral, you mean? Or
the previous year, making no money to...
So you were a baller, like you were.
No, I mean, it was great. I didn't have to worry about racing every weekend to pay my house payment.
Right.
Which was awesome. And it was the first time I was able to really, get a serious trainer and start training. And, my results, they weren't really showing so much in Supercross because the bike was a handful to ride. But in outdoors, I rode really well. And I had 4 podiums, 5 podiums, and a win and a bunch of seconds. And rode really great. But it was definitely a good place in my career for sure.
And we all know what happened the next year. You got hurt.
Yeah, it sucked.
But where would you have been? Just the bike was better? You would have just been better? I mean, you were figuring the bike out. You were figuring things out.
Well, we finally figured out how to make it slower.
Yeah.
And not so just absolutely, just light switch like it was like you were driving a. Nick was on it this night. Well,
it's Michigan, hometown.
Well, it is DeWitt, Michigan. And look at him. I'm just gonna square you up. I'm not just gonna rub you, but then
I'm gonna take you out.
Ernie caught all those rocks and whatnot.
Yeah. That'd be a fine today for sure. Gallagher would have his way. You can't do that now.
That's awesome. Nick on the PC bike.
Yeah.
And if you want to see this bike, ladies and gentlemen, you can drive the Pro Circuit, and they have this on display. Actually, the bike that they have on display is going to be Nathan Ramsey's championship winning 1999 bike.
West with
yes.
This. Yes, you're right.
Yeah.
What'd you think of Sellards as a rider? He's in second here. Have you ever?
You know what? I really the year before when I was riding 125 outdoors was really one of the only times that I ever really raced him.
Mm-hmm.
And he was a tough little bastard.
Right.
He was actually fairly fit, and he was a scrapper. And the tracks that he rode well, like he really rode well.
Yeah, yeah.
And he was always going to be up there in the mix.
You had to deal with him. Yeah.
Here's little E trying to make his way forward.
Dude, Yamaha Troy, too. Another thing watching these old videos, they were killing it. They had Johnson, Fonseca, Ramsey, you know?
They were the factory connection of the 90s.
Right, right.
In the lights class or 125 class, whatever. Hell, I don't even know what it's called anymore.
People forget that Mitch wasn't always the guy, you know? He went a couple years without winning titles. If you look in their history books.
These guys are crashing. This doesn't look fun.
Schnell? Is that Schnell? 32, I think.
But Flagger sucks. That guy sucks.
He should be immediately fired.
Yes, and here's Nick. So he's got what has he got? About a 0 bike length lead over Sellards.
Hey, too, 125s, you remember the days where you couldn't clear both triples. You know?
True. I got another funny story. So Sellards is riding for the FMF Honda team, and Bob Moore, who works with me, was team manager.
Yes.
This year.
Yep. And I worked at FMF Honda in the year before this, 98.
All right.
I worked for Danny Smith at FMF Honda. Bob was my manager.
This is a very small, incestuous
We went
sport.
to Gorman. We went to Gorman. Bob was faster than everybody on the team, and Sheik got really, really mad.
Scotty Sheik.
Scotty Sheik was not happy that Bob Moore kicked his ass. Team manager.
Are you watching? This race is pretty good. Like Nick's parking people. He's brake checking.
Whatever he's got to do to get DeWitt on his side.
That's right.
Look how the track's deteriorated too since even the heat races.
Track is really terrible.
And there he goes, Sellers into the lead.
And you called Sellers to win this thing.
I think he did. Oh, I watched this before, as clearly as you can tell by my fast forwarding skills. I don't know who's talking right now. Oh.
Casey Johnson.
Oh, yeah, Casey was out because he broke his arm.
Yep, Johnstone.
He was good, right?
He was.
He should have been better.
This year, I mean, Nate Dogg won a championship, and Nate's a friend of mine and whatnot. Mm-hmm. But, I mean, Casey was unreal until he got landed on at Anaheim 2.
By Rusty Holland. So Sellers, we have the Honda clock on him here. Sellers just checking out right now.
But my memory is failing me. And look, here comes my boy Ernie. He's catching back up.
Yeah. Ernie, 80 pounds probably, 90 pounds right here.
He might have been 100 soaking wet.
Holding a brick.
Yeah, seriously.
Ernie was technical too. Very technical rider. Not great outdoors, but Supercross, man.
Yeah, Ernie was awesome.
I believe 112 was Tyler Evans on a Suzuki. He just went by us there.
One punch. This is before he was one punch, maybe.
Yeah, this was just when he was tormenting Frankie. Frankie was his mechanic.
Really?
Yeah, and he was tormenting Frankie. He stuck a toothpick in Frankie's ear. Frankie had to go to the hospital. Stuck it inside his ear as a joke.
That's not very cool.
No. Oh, wait.
Brandis.
No, that's Evans.
That's Evans?
Never mind that. There's Ryan Terlecki looking at him. Evans is out.
Look at him. He's like not even like huge and ripped.
No. Just a kid looking for a ride.
Yeah.
Really.
Dude, I can't believe you're right. Sellers is gonna win this thing.
Yeah, Sellers wins it, I think. Well, I did tape this, Jimmy, so it's not that big of a shocker.
Well, I knew that Ernie lost this race.
Right.
Because I was super bummed for him because he was riding so good and
but
year was going good for him and whatnot.
You were out at the track with him, riding the track. I gotta say, as just a mechanic who knew nothing about Ernesto Fonseca, the dude with the funny name.
Yeah.
He just killed him when he came out, like at Tampa. I believe Tampa was
the first round. And
number 100, weirdo kid.
Well, and the thing that's funny is, so Ron Cotta was the main guy on the team that year for the East Coast, right?
Yeah.
And so Ron Cotta got the lead. I remember he hole shotted, and he got the lead in the main. And Ernie came from not too far back, and just never failed, never made mistakes, and just worked it.
Look at Way, can't do the triple. Ernie's never been scared to jump in traffic, by the way. That was a Fonseca specialty.
Man, Nick, had you not taken my guy out, he would have went undefeated.
Nick looks tired, dude.
Nick was tired, and you're at home, bud. What are you doing, Nick Way? Ernie just looked back at him. Ernie was a cool dude.
How's that triple?
You know what?
Finish line?
Ernie still is a cool dude.
He is. I did a podcast with him. We had a great time. It was really good. He was funny.
Yeah, he's a good guy. So who we got? Nick Way, Joe Olaf, and Robbie Skaggs. Demuth,
Horton,
Robbie Horton, Jerry Dostal, Kelly Smith, and Jason Thomas.
Kevin Crine, R.I.P. Good dude.
Yep.
Oh, good dude Kevin Crine was. Danny Smith crashed out, obviously.
Wow.
Some of those guys are still racing today.
They are.
Yeah, Jason Thomas.
You might find them at your local arena cross here in a couple months.
Yeah, exactly. Or Jason Thomas, you'll find him in Germany. DOS champion. But I was teammates with Sellards at KTM, and then also at was it at FMF Honda? No. Yeah, FMF Honda 98 and KTM. Went back to Ohio for a couple of weeks during the KTM days. He's a hillbilly. There's Dino.
Dino Bambino from San Bernardino.
And your old mechanic.
That is my old mechanic.
Grip flew off Daytona.
Grip flew off at Houston.
I always think the wrong race.
I won Daytona.
You won Daytona. Dino's grip came flying off in the air in Houston.
Yes.
How was that, Jimmy?
It sucked because I actually broke one of the vertebrae in my neck that I later found out about 5 years later when I had an X-ray.
Yeah.
But
and you just had a sore neck at the time.
I had a sore neck at the time, and Dean almost died that night because my father almost killed him when he came back to the stands.
Yeah. So it was wired or no wired?
It was wired.
Wired.
Yes.
Somehow came off the bar.
My dad flipped out.
I think that's every rider's nightmare, though, really. Or bars coming off or whatever.
The problem is it was a triple, and it came off when I hit the first triple. I slammed into the face of the next triple, and, dude, I crashed so hard it broke my gas tank off my bike.
Really? The mounts just like with your nuts or with your knees or who knows?
It was bad, but when I got off the ground, I still had the grip in my hand. Thoroughly
threw it at Dino.
thoroughly pissed off.
Not happy.
Highly pissed. Not so good.
Right. Yeah, Nick's done, dude. He's tired.
He is tired.
I mean, no wonder why Mitch and him didn't get along back then. Because he's got some funny stories about him and Nick Way.
Yeah.
Or him and Mitch Payton. You know, I think it was this year, as a vacuum roars off in the distance here at Wasserman Media Group. Later on this year, Mitch sent everybody on the team running shoes in the Nationals.
Really?
Everybody got a brand new set of Nike tennis shoes.
Well, that's good. That'll keep them. That'll try to keep the guys fit. You know what's funny? Okay, so this is 99. I mean, we're jumping all around here, but Nick Way actually won the Millville National this year.
Yes, he did.
So he was in shape that year, but maybe just at this race,
right?
You know, maybe it was a little stuffy in there that night.
I don't know, but Nick said that everybody got a pair of Nike running shoes with a note from Nick saying, use these. And Nick took them out back behind his barn. He showed me the spot when I used to work for him and burnt them. He was so angry. He said the next time he saw Nathan was like, hey, dude, check out those shoes we got from Mitch. That's awesome. Nathan thought it was the coolest thing ever. Somebody just wanted to give him some tennis shoes.
That is classic.
Yeah, and Nick burnt his.
Look at the big whip.
Yeah.
This must be the final lap. Sellards is showing off. How many races did Sellards win?
You know, I know he won one on a KTM. I know he won one. Where did he go after this? I don't even remember.
Did he ever ride a Yamaha? Did he ride for Yamaha Troy?
I don't know. His name is Marcus. Dino. Wearing a hat. Still wearing a hat.
They're pumped.
Still wearing a hat.
Yeah.
And this was and yeah, it's Casey Johnson's. No, there it is.
There it is, the win. Maybe this was his first win. This could have been his very first win.
Good ride for Ernie though, coming from about 5th or 6th, way back after getting knocked down.
On the ground by Nick Way from DeWitt, Michigan.
Right. The local boy.
So Ernie's gone. This would be 4 wins in 1 second. So that's a good way to start out a rookie season. And he's already got a huge points lead at this point.
Yeah. And he told me the next year when he had the number 1 plate, he kind of goofed off a little bit. He lost the title. But he won it back again, I believe, that next year.
Yeah, he did.
I had one of those helmets, very heavy. One of those Arai helmets.
But it's Arai, so it's safe.
I guess.
So you're feeling it.
I don't remember how many races Sellards won. For sure he won, I believe, 2 or 3. 2001 was when the tide started turning.
Yeah, I mean, 2000, I think,
Wait, did Ricky win 2000?
No, in 2000, the biggest kind of revelation of the sport was DV.
DV
came in. He was my teammate. It was me and him on Factory Yamaha. I ended up getting hurt at round 3. So DV was basically in the semi by himself the rest of the year.
DV was weird too early on,
and he was good, man. He was the only one there. He was one of the first ones that could really challenge MC for wins. I mean, dude, look at this. He's already 13 rounds in. He's already got a 2-race lead.
Yeah.
He's got a 50-point lead already.
When DV passed McGrath at Phoenix from behind, the place went silent. Well, because that just doesn't happen.
Well, and plus, I mean, Phoenix is a really they were always really partial to MC for sure.
Yeah. No, the place was silent. So, yeah, like I said, Brashon was packing it in at this point. But we're going to have a close-up.
Honda close-up.
Fender's a little crooked.
Yeah.
Hey, Mitch let him more JT gear, too.
That bike was pretty sweet. It had, like, the chrome on it.
It did, didn't it? Yeah. He won 2 of these, I believe. 2 125 titles.
Back to back.
Yeah. And Mitch let him wear JT gear, which means he was fast. Oh, no.
This is dirty. This is Atlanta.
Yeah.
This is Atlanta in 96. Dirty crash. Watch his head. Watch the head snap.
Goggles.
Watch the head snap. Snap.
Oh, goggles off.
Right there is when they should have invented a Liat.
Oh, and then, broken femur right here. 27. You've jumped off in the air like that, I'm sure. That's a bad feeling.
It's
rolling
dirty.
up the windows.
In fact, I did it at Pontiac. Not fun.
Oh, I forgot about this race. He won the overall this day, Glenn Helen.
That's right.
He went 5-1 or 1-5 or something. What kind of helmet is that?
It's a BFA.
Oh, yeah, BFA helmet. What happened when he punched out? Who did he punch out? What happened?
His dad got into it with a security guy, I believe, at Mount Morris. And I think it happened like in the morning before practice when they were like trying to park the car or something. I remember getting there and hearing the story about it.
Right.
So.
And I know Yogi years later told me that bike and the 97, 98, new frames all the time, different thicknesses, different walls, basically cheating, but whatever. And to try to make that thing handle, like they just couldn't do it.
Yeah, it wasn't.
Look at Renard with the first gate pick because he won Heat 1.
Yeah.
So, has not won Pontiac since '96.
Yeah, because '97 Suzuki and then '98 Ezra won.
Ezra won? Yeah. It's a big deal. He hasn't won in 2 years. Oh God. There you are.
There I am.
Yeah. Wait, how do you have the 4th pick? You won the semi. Ahead of Tim Ferry, who got 4.
I guess I was awesome.
Yeah, I don't know. They must have said, you know what, Button, you're better than you're better than what you showed. Look at Brian Terlecki, Hoffman.
Hey, Tyler Evans. Apparently, he was riding. He was double classing
it. Jean-Sebastian Walk and Canada's
Factory
finest.
Phil.
Yeah.
Factory Phil Lawrence.
That's Kenny Watson working for him. Good
He
stories.
was riding for Moto Triple X.
He was.
Yeah. There's Big Bird.
Yeah, and Leroy. Getting ready for the 250 main event.
Look at that sweet paint job on his helmet.
Yeah.
Look at so many of us had the sweet paint jobs.
There I am, revving the throttle. This is where a mechanic really came in handy because 2-stroke days.
You had to.
Right. That was a key part of being a mechanic.
Absolutely.
Now,
we didn't get no sexy monster girl swinging her ass around with the 30-second board.
Black jean guy.
We got that guy that you went through bike tech with in the morning.
You're like, hey, George.
Okay, so we got Albie. Albie on the very inside.
I still have a kit of those.
There's a lot of good.
I still have that graphic kit at home.
I got to say, there's a lot of good riders on that starting gate.
Oh,
there.
Yeah, for sure.
Some legends of the sport, if you will. Here we
go. Gates on.
Gates about to drop.
And gate drops. So here we go. We're off. And let me guess.
MC with a good start. Hey.
Oh, look at you.
Oh, dude, I faded so bad in this race.
Oh, you already know you're going to ruin it for the viewer?
No, I faded so bad
dude,
in this
they might
race.
think you're going to win.
No. I'm just going to get out of the way because, ladies and gentlemen, at this point.
Because first race back after.
No, first race back, so that's I'm a little rusty. But I ate something for lunch, and by about now, I was sweating profusely before I got on the starting line, and I didn't know what was wrong. My heart rate was all jacked up.
Right.
But it would be, a little bit later, I'm going to know why, because I think I ended up getting some food poisoning off some bad tuna fish sandwich for lunch. So I put on a big fade here in a little bit. And
Bacardi's all yelling at you.
They were all so mad at me because
Yeah.
I actually think I got lapped in this race, and I hadn't been lapped.
Right.
I don't even know when's the last time I got lapped. I couldn't even function.
Well, we're set up nicely here with the 2 heat winners, but does anybody seriously think RR is going to get
No.
by? There's MC tripling right there.
My guess is, I can't remember the way this race worked out. I was too worried about finding a toilet after the race. But I'm going to guess that probably Yogi and Big Bird get up in the mix here.
Right. Between Larocco, Renard, and Lamson, we got more guys wearing full chest protectors in the main event than I've seen in a long time.
I've not seen a full chest protector.
Who wears them?
I don't even know.
Oh, Chisholm wears them. Chisholm
Does he?
wears one every time.
Yeah, good for him.
And that's about it. The only guy.
Good for him. I know some of the guys these days do for outdoors, but I think it's more for rocks.
Do your feelings after getting hurt? Do you feel like they should all be wearing front and back chest protectors?
No.
I mean, you're still
No.
You have to get hurt. Your stance hasn't changed.
No.
What do you feel about the neck braces?
I think the Liat brace and the and the Alpine Star brace that those guys have. I mean, for sure for myself, the injury that I had and the way I crashed and the way I went down, had I had one on, you never know for sure, right?
Yeah, you can't.
But I think I probably would have been okay. I probably would have gotten up, but the chest protectors. I think there's probably some instances where it would protect you and save you from maybe breaking your back and something like that. But I think for the most part, I don't
yeah,
really
like,
think.
well, you know how people sometimes advocates, you guys go
For
get
sure.
hurt, become out, but you're just, hey, whatever you want to run, you can run.
Yeah.
Right. Like, you don't think
the thing is, I mean, there's guys now that don't wear the neck brace.
Right.
And there's guys that do. And then there's guys that started out wearing them when they first came out, and now they don't wear them.
Right.
So, kind of, go figure on that one.
What about permanent numbering and this number system? What's your thoughts on that?
The permanent numbering system is good for guys that are franchises, right?
Mm-hmm.
So,
Do we have any of those? 1, 2?
well, maybe a Wyndham. Everyone knows
Yeah.
K-Dub's 14. The number 5 is going to be probably, unless Dungy gets hurt.
Right.
Number 5 should be around for a long time to come. But for in the 22 of Reedy, stuff like that. But I think for the most part, I mean, the one thing that was always great about the numbering system of old was, can I get a single digit?
Right.
Can I work? If I don't win a championship, I gotta be
Yeah.
up there in both series and indoors and outdoors.
A lot of work
to earn a single digit. And ironically, in '99, I actually earned number 7.
Oh, did you?
But I went to the permanent numbers, and I
was that the next year?
Yeah, and I was the third pick of the permanent numbers, and so Big Bird took 10.
Yep.
Ezra took 11, and I took 12.
Right. And I believe Timmy was next, and he took 15. He went out of order.
Yeah.
He could have had 14 or 15 or something. Or maybe Renard got it. I don't know.
No. So Wyndham was behind me, took 14.
No, I think Wyndham was after Timmy. Because he crashed this year and stuff.
Really?
Yeah.
But nevertheless.
Anyways, yes.
Yeah, so
So you would have been 7.
would have been 7.
Which would have been cool.
Would have been cool.
Did you ever get into it with Larocco?
On the track?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Look at RR staying in there.
He is. I mean,
Right?
he rode good in the heat race. He's
You see that jump MC's doing there, though?
that triple.
Yeah.
Yeah, again, hard.
It's nasty.
Jumping up into the
Jimmy admits it right now. Never did it.
No, I did.
Oh.
I didn't like it.
Oh.
The mini peristyle coming down.
Look at it.
He's
Good.
made a change of gear. He's wearing red. He was wearing yellow and blue
Yeah.
in the heat race. That might have changed up for him.
Maybe. This is about as much as Renard ever hung with MC, I think, ever, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, you might be right. So who we got in third? So it looks like Ezra's up to third.
Yogi in third.
So did Big Bird, is he drop back a little bit now? It's looking that way.
Big
It's
Bird
still
was-
early in the race. It's still pretty early in the race.
And
So
the track's getting beat. And look at that.
It is.
Little mistake
little mistake.
by the king. You don't normally see that.
Well, we know that Renard doesn't win
No.
because he never won a Supercross.
He never wanted to be Supercross.
Never won
You're right.
a Supercross.
Yeah. Yeah. Neither did you.
No, I didn't.
career regret, I guess.
Thanks to the guy on the number 1 bike.
A few times, right?
A few times.
A few times, yeah. He cost a lot of people.
He did.
And RC cost a lot of people.
Yeah.
Wyndham would be a lot of
championships. You know, I Atlanta in '98 the year before. I led the whole thing from the start, and we're about 2 laps from the end. Still have a pretty decent. I had maybe a 3-second lead on Jeremy, which back then with 2 laps to go, you were like,
yeah,
that was amazing.
Right.
And my beloved mechanic puts on the pit board, MC's coming. And I didn't breathe for 2 laps. And Jeremy passed me in the last corner. What sucked is, I mean, God, he was my teammate, he was my best friend, and he still didn't want to see me win.
Right.
Damn it.
You're like, damn. Yeah, like, can't you just give me one, dude?
Just give me one
like
of
you
these.
have 72 of them.
Well, he would have only had 71.
Yeah, I guess.
Would have screwed up everything everyone talks about these days.
Yeah.
With the whole 72.
Look
Had he only had 71, maybe they wouldn't call him the king.
Good point. You're right. You know what? F you, Button. I'm glad he did that. Yeah, I'm glad he did that. Look at this.
Look at the RR.
But I guarantee you in MC's mind, he's not worried.
Absolutely not. He's thinking, I got this. He's going to get tired.
Yeah.
I just keep riding my race, and we're good.
I need to just not make a mistake is what MC's thinking. You know what I mean? Like, but isn't it weird how, like, look, they're single.
Like right now, and everybody, even the 250S, would step up on that thing and step off.
Absolutely.
And wouldn't even think twice about it.
No.
Wouldn't even think twice about it.
And you guys are, you know, just roll, like roll there. Roll that. Like, how slow is that? There's no flow.
No.
You know what I mean? It's just.
If ready, take him.
I love Berlut.
And he gave a thumbs up.
I love Berlut, but come on, dude.
If you're ready,
just take him. Because it's just MC.
It's just Jeremy.
It should be no problem for you to take him.
Because think, 99 at this point, at this point, so think about it. At this point, he's probably got
60 wins.
No, 60 plus.
Right.
So just take him. You don't have any. He's got 60. He's got 60 odd Supercross wins.
You know, you got to keep your rider, like, you got to have that edge and keep him confident. I guess.
This is true. I mean,
we all love Berlut.
So Jeremy won 7 titles. This one, 99, would have been number 6.
Right.
So he's already got 5 titles, 60 plus wins. But take him.
Take him.
Get her done.
Yeah, well, hey, as a mechanic, I put some dumb stuff on the boards.
Yeah, it's true.
I have.
The funny thing is, us riders generally don't pay attention unless it says how many laps are left or what place we're in.
Yeah, I didn't know until I got to be a Factory Yamaha guy that the cool guy thing is just lap times and time left in the race.
Yeah.
Up until now, even now, I'm riding
motivational,
like 4-line motivational, you know, on the pit board.
It's like that. It's at that place at the mall that you can buy those posters.
Yeah. I'm trying to just, look at Larry Ward and Pichon going.
Well, he cut them off before they did the finish line triple, and he had to double it, so that gives him another little bit of a breathing room.
Yeah, I put P6 on the board, came back, don't fall. P6, don't fall, came back and left it on the board. Brooks and Big B just had their way with me. Like, don't tell the guy not to fall. Of course he's not going to fall.
Well, that's probably because after what BK put on mine. MC's coming. And you know the thing. Here's the amazing thing. So back then I was the privateer, right? So in '98 I was a privateer. Had I won that race, okay, it was a $50,000 bonus.
Was it?
From Pace.
Oh, no way.
It was $50,000 bonus if a privateer won a Supercross main.
I didn't know that.
So I would have made like the same bonuses as like the factory guys.
Yeah. And big battle here.
Yeah. This is like for 4th. You can hear me somewhere.
I just saw you go by. You're
with the anchor.
Like Larry, come on, Larry. You just gave it to him.
I think that was like maybe just. So Bernard's in 2nd. Ezra. I'm in 7th.
Yeah, you're beating Tim Ferry.
Dude, I'm
still. The year this year. Carmichael must have went down.
Dude, so I'm still like in the mix.
Yeah.
I guess the anchor's not out. Maybe I did better than I expected.
The tuna hasn't caught hold yet.
The tuna caught hold after the main was over, my friend. I can tell you that.
Yeah. Was there a guy around this era that was really underrated to you? Like you always had trouble with him. He was always really fast, but now here we are in 2010, never gets talked about. I mean, or very rarely. Anybody like that? Like, you know what I mean?
I mean, I think maybe, a lot of us are still involved in the sport in one way or the other, right?
Right.
You're thinking about Larocco.
There's a team manager for Geico right now.
Yeah, and Robbie still races.
Mm-hmm.
I think he just won a championship or two at Loretta's. So, and, he does arena cross. Larry doesn't get talked about too much because he's still just hunting.
Yeah, I've tried to call Larry 18 times.
Pichon ended up going on winning a couple world championships. MC is MC.
Yeah.
Ricky's Ricky. You don't hear a whole lot about what Ezra's going on, although you have started to hear a little bit more about him lately, which is great.
That looks like a hard landing.
It was terrible.
Oh, you know what I mean?
Again, there's that jump that I said I hated. It was just terrible.
Larry is done.
Maybe Larry threw the anchor out. Maybe I catch him. Maybe not, but that'd be cool.
Dude, Larry's seat bouncing. Look at him standing up. He is done.
He just looked up like, seriously?
This ruts, they'll wear you out trying to focus on, you know what I mean, fighting your
sure.
bike and all that. It's a tiring situation.
Dude, I'm coming. That's me behind him. I might actually catch the big bird.
Yeah, I'm not going to listen to you anymore when you tell me how you did in these races because clearly.
I thought I threw the anchor
how easy
out.
would the guys go raw and go single off that thing?
Well, I tell you what, I'm pretty sure I could have made it up onto it, but on my bike, I would have never made it over the next obstacle. Would have definitely fallen on my face. Yeah. That's exactly how it worked.
Oh, I know. I was there. I was there for some of them because, after you got hurt, Ferry got on that bike and had some success, and then I got there at Yamaha eventually, a year later or 2 years later, and we still had issues, and and I was told that it was a whole lot better than when you were riding it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
when I was riding it, it was tough to ride, man.
But then at Washugo when you won your national, I mean it was a bonus up that hill and just run around that track.
Yeah,
so.
you know what? And I kind of had a revelation in life like the week before. Which for me it was more, that race win that I had at Washugo was so much more of a kind of like a
cathartic.
Like a mental thing. Look at Yogi going for the pass on Renard. See, Renard's getting tired.
Arms are pumped.
And Ezra is going for the three-peat at Pontiac at this point.
Oh, yeah? He won 2 years in a row?
Yeah, he won 2 years in a row. And
was Pontiac, when MC was on Suzuki, wasn't Pontiac the race that he went down all by himself?
Yeah, and flipped upside down.
Right.
The throttle thing stuck or whatever it was, that weird deal.
I know a guy that we can talk about that was underrated. Huffman. Damon Huffman.
No, I don't think he was ever underrated. Dude, he was the first person to ever sign $1 million contract.
Was he?
At Cali, yeah.
3 years?
Signed that 3-year deal.
$1 million bucks.
$1 million bucks. All of us had heard about it. We were tripping, going, $1 million? My God.
Oh my God. No one's ever going to make $1 million. Yeah.
That's huge. What is going on?
And then after that, it was, hey, pass that bong over here. Beer bong.
Yeah, a beer bong.
Right. And pass over the Goldschlager. We're hitting the river.
Let's see. Was the Goldschlager around that time?
I don't know.
Maybe those might have been the Goldschlager years.
You gotta listen to Ping and I did Minneapolis '99 this same year.
That's awesome.
We just crack on all you guys. And then Ping told a story about how he lost the cap to his Jägermeister, and everyone had to drink the bottle immediately. Anyways, pretty good times. Look at there you are.
I'm in the mix. And
look at Larocco coming late in the
race.
race.
And now Big Bird's back. He found his second win.
Yeah.
Bumming me out that he found that second win.
There's no chance that Pichon holds off Larocco here.
Dude, Larocco was always one of those guys. If he wasn't in front of you, he's gonna end up behind you.
Right. Like when you saw him, look over.
Did he just pull over?
He did. This is near the end of the season, and Timmy was around him. I'm telling you, Jimmy, the guy quit the last 3 or 4 races in a row. Just quit.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, well, you were out there racing, but
that's a good memory.
Because Timmy,
Big Bird just got me. Now I'm in the mix. I'm coming close. I'm coming. I'm hyping myself up.
Who's more done at this point, Pichon or Larry?
Or me?
Or you with bad tuna?
Bad tuna. There I am. Oh, I got who's on my
Huffy.
tail?
I think Huffy's on you.
Huffy's on me. Huffy passes me.
For sure, right?
I'm pretty sure. I remember just being really pissed off at the end of this race.
Did you ever think were you pissed at your bike ever like, were you ever like, I wish I had a 2-stroke, wish I had a 2-stroke, where it started mentally affecting you? Or were you just happy to have that ride like you said earlier?
No.
Like-
There was a lot of times I said, shit, I wish I had a 2-stroke, especially in Supercross.
Yeah.
And then we went through outdoors, and I finally learned, because remember, I mean, I got that ride the middle of October.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So, yeah.
Towards the end of October. So I only had November and December to get ready for Supercross. And once you're in Supercross, you know, I mean, you don't really.
Yeah. You're not getting better.
You're not getting better. So I mean, I kind of struggled through. I mean, I think I had one podium and like 2 heat race wins or something.
Mm-hmm.
So it was terribly unsuccessful compared to the year before. And I wanted a 2-stroke, but then outdoors I got better at riding the bike and things got better. And then we made a lot of changes to the bike. It got substantially better, and I did a bunch of European Supercrosses on the bike, and I won nearly all of them.
What'd you do? Yamaha let you bring a motor? Would you bring a whole motor?
Dude, we brought everything but a frame. Seriously, we
poor
brought
BK.
Yeah, we brought. Well, back then you could bring a shitload of stuff on a plane.
Yeah.
It wasn't a big deal.
Right.
But we brought swing arm and
Yeah, because I couldn't
subframe.
imagine like your bike was so modified you couldn't jump on a stock bike and race a Supercross.
No,
you know?
it was crazy the amount of stuff that we had to bring. But
Jeremy's checked out by the way.
yeah, so the bike got better. Yeah, 4 laps ago, and Jeremy's already lapping up to like 12th place right now.
Right.
But yeah, I mean it was it got way better. So what are you gonna do?
Yeah. Did you ever ride MC's bike back in these days?
I
Like,
actually,
get on it and
you know what? I actually think I only rode it one time, just a quick couple minutes, and at that point I'd been on 4-strokes for nearly a year.
Yeah.
And so it felt so.
Yeah. You didn't
Weird.
like it, right?
It felt so weird because you would spin the tire up so quickly, and I was used to just having a massive amount of traction.
I remember one thing about you on the 4-stroke. I remember it might have been this year, had to have been this year. One of the Anaheims, there was a right-hander, a little bump that you would wheelie, and then you would have a big tabletop. And the dudes were having so much trouble getting over it, and you were all,
Yeah.
and you were able to double this thing every lap.
Every lap.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, it was Anaheim too.
All right. See, I got a memory like you now.
And there was also a triple that was pretty big right out of a corner. Everybody had to go. It was right out of a left-hander, and everybody had to go really, really far to the outside to jump this thing. And I could take the very inside and seat bounce it. It was awesome. I had a great race with Yogi and with Jeremy that night.
Well, 30 seconds already to back to 4th place right now for MC, so half a track probably. And there's 5th.
And he got his second win.
Oh, look at that, the 10.
I'm on him. I'm trying to get up
But
there.
Huffy's on you.
Huffy's on me. We only got 4 laps.
Yeah.
That's probably why I was so pissed. He probably passed me on the last lap.
Yeah.
God.
But really, you probably only had top 5 bonuses, so you're already out
No,
of it.
I only had top 3 bonuses.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Jeez, they don't fool around there at Yamaha.
No, but the bonuses were good.
Right.
I remember, like, getting your bonus checks in the mail was like Christmas.
Yeah, you went and bought something?
No,
right?
it was like Christmas. Like, you like opened it up and it was like a shining light would come out of it.
There you go.
Look at, I got Pichon.
You got Pichon on the 4-stroke.
I like it.
Oh, he stuck it in there.
All right.
And Huffy goes by him.
Yeah, JB. Feeling it.
If this was Ultracross for passing points, look at that jump. That's gnarly.
Dude, that was gnarly. There's my
Yeah.
boy BK giving me the signal.
Yeah.
See, I'm standing up going through the corners.
I'm really surprised the directors have focused on this race because generally they didn't do that. They just watched MC ride around by himself.
Well, look at it. We had an amazing
No, I
battle
know.
back
This
here.
is good.
Come on, Button. What are you
Hey,
doing?
right now on the throttle, you're like this. You're like, please don't cut out. Please don't cut out. Please don't cut out. You're just you're feathering it. You know what I mean?
Look at this. I'm getting a little FaceTime. Come on, go after. See, I'm tired.
You're
too.
tired. You
I am
yeah. You
tired.
looked up right
Well,
there.
this is remember my first
Yeah.
race back, so I'm a little worked.
Bike's heavy.
Final lap, so MC's already gotten it. Oh, this is what's gonna happen. God, he is gonna pass me on the
He
last
is?
lap. This is terrible.
We'll see. I guess we're not gonna check. We're not gonna get
so
that.
MC lapped Albie.
And there we go.
And there we are.
And that's the end of it. We didn't catch the
we
end
lost
of
the last half of the last lap.
we
But
did.
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say Jeremy wins.
I'm really apologize for my taping skills right now, Jimmy.
Your taping skills rip.
I'm really sorry, fans. This one's gonna be some work to put together. I apologize to all of you. I'm gonna look up this result because I have it in my record book and see how you did.
And let me know if Huffy.
I will
passed
let you
me.
know if Huffy gets you. All right.
You should Twitter it.
Yeah, I'll do that. All right. Well, thank you for listening to PulpMX Classic Commentary. Thank you, Jimmy Button, for doing it.
Thanks for having me as a guest commentator.
Yeah, it was fun, and we learned a lot tonight, didn't we? I like the Brownie showdown story. That was my favorite.
Yeah. It's awesome.
Yeah. How'd you do? How'd Brownie look? Excellent, dude. All right. Well, thanks very much.